On this episode of Game Shack, I explain why Terminator 2 might save Arcade1up. Coming up next. Hey everybody, welcome on back into the Game Shack. I'm your host JDV for Evil Genius Entertainment. All right, let's just jump right on into it. Obviously, it's been kind of a tough year for Arcade1up. They had a bunch of delays early in the year for their virtual pinball games. A series of expected announcements at E3 did not happen, particularly for the Simpsons game, which we are still waiting for the official announcement of in late July 2021. And then the announcements that the MSRPs for all of their new non-legacy cabinets would be $600 or more, all the way up to $850 now for their virtual pinball game, which still has not received a bunch of much needed firmware upgrades. Naturally, these price increases did not do a whole lot to put joy in the hearts of the retro arcading community, nor anybody else who was just casually interested in maybe picking up one of these cabs. And they've really taken a beating, not just on this channel, but on just about every channel I've come across. Even formerly super fans of Arcade1up have done a 180 and become very angry at the company for what is perceived accurately, I believe, to be turning of the back of Arcade1up on the very people that helped make the company such a great success. So therefore, when I watched some of the videos that came out here recently, Unqualified Critics, Michael B, P-Dubs, a few other guys, announced that there had been a leak on a website showing a full mock-up of a Terminator 2 game and the new Tron game. Now, we had suspected that Tron and Simpsons would be announced at some point. There were already mock-ups leaked out there, but nothing really on Terminator 2, or that they had managed to keep a lid on that up until the last few days. Thing that really cannot be recreated so well by multi-K type machines, which by their very nature have to be able to play all of the games available on there, are the games that have specialized controllers. Think the Star Wars game that Arcade1up has previously released. And of course with the Terminator 2 with little Uzi style machine guns that vibrate when you shoot them, or the Tron control flight stick essentially. But the very specialized joysticks and or controllers, that is something where Arcade1up does have a definite advantage over their competitors, because they can have a controller that matches exactly, or at least pretty close, to the original arcade machine. Part of the reasons why I got my Outrun driving game is that there was really nothing else that did a driving game setup. There's no steering wheels available from iArcade, and there's no steering wheels available from AdGames. If you want to play a sit-down driving game, or stand-up even, the only show in town was that Outrun cab, and it is a very good cab and a lot of fun. Same thing goes for the Star Wars video game that they put out with that really cool yoke. You can fake a lot of things, but the steering wheel and a yoke, you can't fake. And that's kind of the same thing for these guns on the Terminator game. They're very specific, kind of hardwired, vibrate. The same thing goes for Tron. That game has been on the ALU since its inception, and you can play it on there. But the fact is that had a unique control system, a unique joystick, sort of like a fighter pilot type joystick. And it's just not the same. It really is completely different trying to play that game on the ALU because of that odd joystick. So it makes sense for Arcade1up to be putting out machines that do have these unique setups, because frankly, that's the only real appeal they have beyond branding. Yeah, we like to have the cabinets be somewhat shaped the way the originals were and all of that, and have this nice branding on the side. But when you get right down to it, if you are buying these games to play these games, and I know some of you guys don't, some of you essentially have them as art, and I do understand that, but if you're getting these games to play, then you need to have these unique configurations for games like Star Wars, Tron, Terminator 2, and there'll be some others that come down the line that had a unique setup for their games. And so if the price is right for Terminator 2, I can see that thing being a big hit. Same thing for Tron. I have a great desire for both of those games. And pricing is, of course, going to be a big part of this. If these games are $700 or more, I think you're going to see a whole lot of Arcade1up fans be very, very angry because they are compelling cabs, just not for $700. And I think $600 is way too much for these games too. I think $500, which, you know, that's a lot of dough, is probably about a fair price for these type cabinets. But we know that that's not going to be what the price is. Their price is probably going to start at $600, maybe $650. The leaks for T2 and Tron apparently were on a Canadian website, so it's really hard to know for sure what the US MSRP is going to be. So what do you guys think? Do you think that these ever more specific cabs that have very specific controller decks could help save Arcade1up? Or if the price is too high on them, will it just generate even more outrage from fans who want these cabs but cannot afford that kind of pricing? Let me know down below what you think. It is of great interest to me. If you like this sort of content and you'd like to show, please give me a thumbs up. It really does help this channel keep going. We don't make a lot of dough off of this channel, but whatever dough we do make, we put right back into games and other things that we review for the channel. Love each other, and until next time, I'll see you guys in the Game Shack. Mwah!
Terminated.
Just like Arcade1up.
Be sure to visit evilgeniusentertainment.com for exclusive content, swag, casting call news, and much, much more.